Global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to Global Happenings Today YouTube channel. Some few days back, PEPT rounded up the case of the petitioners, and of course, in few days to come, they will hit the ground running again, where Bola Tinubu will be defending his mandate. And of course, Peter Obi's lawyers are more than ready to prove that indeed that mandate was Peter Obi's own. But meanwhile, as the matter is getting to a head, one of the legal luminaries, senior advocates of Nigeria, have decided to send a strong message, not just a strong message, a message that Nigerians really need to know. Well, and they have decided not to hide behind anything, but to tell Nigerians the way it is. Now, we're going to find out what it is he's telling Nigerians to do now, so that the situation on ground can be salvaged ahead of time. Before we do that, kindly subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button. Beside it, you will see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Well, according to the news, as the nation continues to monitor proceedings at the Election Petition Tribunal that's sitting in Federal Capital Territory FCT, reactions have begun trailing a social media post made by senior advocate of Nigeria, Jubrin Okuntikpe, alleging how the judiciary has often been manipulated into keeping shady politicians in power. In a series of posts that he made today, Okuntikpe, who is one of the lead counsels representing the Labour Party, and his presidential candidate Peter Gregory Obi at the tribunal, argued that despite her potential, Nigeria cannot grow as a nation when legal technicalities and jargons are created for the sole aim of keeping politicians who lack integrity in power. Going further, the senior advocate insisted that Nigerians can no longer afford to pretend that all is well with the country, adding that people must be courageous enough to match words and actions and do what needs to be done for the rest of the world to take Nigeria serious. He went on to allege that, judging by daily report from the media space, the country is yet to have persons with the purity of heart handling Nigerians' affairs for the good of her people. Let me read word for word what he wrote. Nigeria has potentials to be great. It is Nigerians that have not yet agreed to make Nigeria great. The damages done to Nigeria and still being done can be remedied by Nigerians when we decide to do what is right. All Nigerians must have strength of courage to do what is right. Nigeria cannot be great when we developed and arid legal technicalities and jargon to retain in powers those who have no moral integrity to be in leadership. Examples aboard how bad decisions of our court have inflicted social, political, and economic injuries on our people. We cannot pretend that all is well with us. We must match our words with actions. No nation will take us serious when all we do is talking and talking without corresponding actions. Each government that comes to power always pretend to hate corruption, but no action to fight it. As a matter of fact, each time judicial oaths are being administered to judicial officers, we hear beautiful and nice things about justice and how it should be served in its purest of forms. But do we see such justice in practical terms? We are just preachers and not doers. Sad. Given the stories we hear daily, Nigeria as a nation with heavenly facilities is yet to have those who have the purity of heart and love of the people to superintend over its affairs for the good of all. The level of selfish manipulations for looting is amazing. Everyone in positions look pure and pious, but most are dangerous in actions and decisions. That is our ban. Nothing is done right in most cases. Decisions in most cases are rendered on predetermined, selfish reasons to sustain bad leadership. Most political actors lacked courage. Now, quite interestingly, Okutikpe's remarks have drawn fury of mixed reactions from a cross-section of Nigerians, with many trooping to the comment section to share their comments and their thoughts. While some persons concord with his assertions, others, however, held a different view. Now, this one here says, "You are right, as always, in pointing out those anomalies happening in Nigeria. The biggest problem and setback for this country is the criminal sycophancy by many Nigerians, the so-called leaders. Ethnic and religious consideration also inhibit progress and development." Another person here says, "The judiciary is our greatest problem in making Nigeria great through leadership representative. Go to court is now the norm to mock Nigerian judiciary. Very bad indeed." Another person here said, "Good morning, son. Agree with you in toto. What we lack in this country is leadership by example, but we don't lack managers. So many countrymen and women are hopeless now. They desire quality leadership, and as a learned and concerned citizen, you can lead a change and we will follow you." That one is big though. Another person here says, "Wrong argument. Nigeria is just the people inside it, without whom there is no geographical location called Nigeria. If the people in Nigeria are not capable of being great in their way of reasoning, because part of the people are incapable of reasoning properly or afraid Nigeria can't be great." Food for thought. And the person here says, "Nigeria is a multicultural country. I disagree with you, sir. No offense, but I don't think Nigeria will be whatever you are hoping it will be. The possibility is very low." Another person here says, "Nigerians are willing for positive change, but our politicians are the problem of this country." This is coming from one of the legal slicks. I'm sure he's seeing things in a different light, and he's saying something very striking. He said they're bringing in technicalities to keep corrupt politicians in power. And the questioner is saying that, look, Nigeria can only be great because we have all it takes to be great, but all depends on Nigerians. Another person here is also saying, in other words, that Nigeria is what it is because it's actually producing the politicians from the people that are still living in Nigeria. So which means whatever politicians or whatever leadership we produce, it's a mirror of what we look like in our community. To a great extent, I would beg to disagree. Yes, these politicians, and they're actually Nigerians, if you ask me. But I believe that I think the system is so fantastically corrupt that those who benefit from it wants to keep the status quo the way it is. Now, Peter Obi vied for the position of presidency. Many Nigerians came out to vote for him, but for whatever reasons, that's very few have decided that, okay, whatever game we need to play to keep this status quo so that the very few benefit from it. In the next video, you get to see what took place, what transpired a few hours ago, and even in Osun and in Abuja, where Bola Ahmed Tinubu arrived. There are many things that happened. We'll share it in the next video, but it's worth discussing. Let's put in that comment section. What's the take on what this legal stick has said? And it's up to you. Do you agree or disagree with it?